Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Sarah Heckert and Aaron Kitzmiller from Gigi's Playhouse. And this is an up-and-coming new Down Syndrome Achievement Center where I love this, the little words underneath all of that. Educate, inspire, believe. Yes. Where did that come from?
I think that comes straight from Gigi's mom. Yeah. So Gigi's Playhouse originated in the Chicagoland area. Gigi is a young woman with Down syndrome. She's about 15 years old now. But, I think maybe 13, 14 years ago, especially in other states, not necessarily quite as much as in Ohio, but in other states, services are really lacking for people with disabilities, children and adults, definitely adults. So she just saw kind of the writing on the wall that if I'm going to get my kid the support I want her to have, I'm going to do it myself. Mm-hmm. And so they started Gigi's Playhouse, kind of small potatoes in the beginning, but now they're up to 37 locations on the North American continent, and there's about 14 locations in the works, which is one of us, and then there's about 100 additional inquiries of cities that want a Gigi's Playhouse in their area.
Wow, that's wonderful. Well, the need is there.
Well, that's what it shows, that the need is there, and again, that's what we're talking about. And again, going from the beginning all the way through the end, all the way through your entire life. I mean, that's what the need is for.
There might be still some misconceptions about what Down syndrome is. Can we just briefly talk about the condition?
Sure. So each of us gets one chromosome from mom, one chromosome from dad, and which make up 23 sets of chromosomes. 46 total. Individuals with Down syndrome have an extra chromosome on that 21st set. So you'll hear some buzz about Down syndrome around March 21st every year. World Down Syndrome Day, 3/21.
It's also my birthday.
Aaron's birthday.
And my daughter's birthday.
So that's so perfect.
So it's that 3/21
yes.
Is kind of a common theme you'll hear in the Down syndrome community.
And one of my favorite T-shirts that I saw a child wearing, I am rocking that extra chromosome.
Yes, ma'am. Yep, they do.
So cute. But it can present itself in similarities among people with the condition, and there are yet some differences. Yes, can we talk about that?
Absolutely. Just like your kids and my kids and Aaron's kids, they all have their parents' chromosomes, but yet that extra one does kind of bring some similarities. There's usually developmental delays, some cognitive delays, and there's usually gross motor delays, low muscle tone. In addition, there's a higher risk of leukemia. There is a lot of gastrointestinal issues with our young ones. Vision and hearing impairments are also fairly common. So probably the biggest one I'm missing, of course, is the cardiac piece. A lot of our kids are born with hole in their heart, atrial septal defect or a VSD. Some of them heal on their own. My daughter's actually healed on her own. I won't say healed on its own, but we know how that was healed.
Yes.
And other kids have pretty severe heart defects that last a lifetime and require multiple surgeries. So
the really, really good news is the lifespan of a person diagnosed with Downs has doubled.
Yeah, in the last 30 years, it's now into the 60s.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you just think about that from the 80s when the average life expectancy of someone with Down syndrome was in their 30s. And again, that just goes back to the understanding of it. Down syndrome is by far the most popular genetic condition in the United States and in the world. And it's also the least funded. So when you look at that's on two separate ends of the spectrum there. You have the most with the most need, but also the least funded. And again, that's kind of, I think, where we've seen a transition in the last, 5, 6, 10 years or so, is this understanding and wanting to understand and wanting to give individuals with Down syndrome a chance where possibly before, well, not possibly, it was before, it was very rare that, if you were in this condition that you were going to get an opportunity to go to a typical school.
Yes.
You're getting an opportunity to work. Now we see these inspirational stories all the time. There's a reason we're seeing them a lot is because it's something that these individuals can do. And again, it's a person by person basis. But you hear about opening a restaurant. You hear about these athletic feats that they're doing. That's because giving a chance, like any other person, if that's what they want to do, there's that opportunity to do it. And that's what we're about, and that's what Gigi's is about. Again, the most common genetic condition, the least funded, this is where Gigi's Playhouse as an organization comes in, and us as volunteers and wanting to work with, hint, hint, corporate partners in the community. We're doing very well raising funds, but we're definitely looking for help and support to open this center, this Down Syndrome Achievement Center.
Funding was my very next question
Yes.
for you. Let's stick there for a while. Do you have any fundraisers coming up, or how do people participate? When we hear about you, can we just go to a website and say, yes, give now? That's the button I'm looking for. Or is there something fun coming up that we can attend as well?
Both.
Yay. Okay, tell me all about it.
So we do have a website, of course. It is ggsplayhouse.org/Canton. Pretty straightforward, ggsplayhouse.org/Canton. And there is a nice green, shiny Donate Now button if you want to hit that up. But, of course, also we are doing multiple fundraisers. We had our first kind of major fundraiser earlier this year. It was a ladies' night out comedy event. Huge success, a whole lot of laughs, a lot of fun. Aaron was our MC. He was a brave at our ladies'
Say no
event.
more. That would be funny.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
fun. And let's see, our next fundraiser we're going to start doing, like I already mentioned, 321 on the chromosomes.
Yes.
We're going to start doing one of the restaurant fundraisers on the 21st of every month. So our first one is April 21st here this weekend at Chipotle in the Belden Village area from 4 to 8 p.m. So we will actually be receiving, a percentage of their sales that evening as long as you come in, dine in, and either just mention Gigi's, or you can find a flyer on our website. And
awesome. And who doesn't like a night at Chipotle's?
Saturday night, too.
There you go.
Bring the
That's
whole
right.
family. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No
exciting.
cooking then.
Yeah.
You'll get to meet our kids. We'll be
Awesome.
there with our kids, and yeah.
Very fun. And they will know that they are the stars of the night, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I had the awesome experience of doing a video with her daughter for Canton Rep. They did an article on us and CantonRep.com, and she was definitely the star of it for sure. So it was a lot of fun. But also, you can find information about our upcoming fundraisers on our Facebook page as well.
Great.
Gigi's Playhouse Canton. Very simple. We post information on there. It's not just about us. It's about just learning more about Down syndrome, learning more about what's going on in the community. So we try to do that, but also fundraising information will be on there as well. So please look for that. Or even on Instagram, you can follow us on Instagram, Gigi's Playhouse Canton. So
Right now, Gigi's Playhouse is a group of people. Is it going to be an actual physical location? Do you know where yet?
God willing.
Okay. Yeah. Still deciding?
We have, so to open a Gigi's Playhouse, we actually had to apply. They just don't say willy-nilly they can go anywhere. So we had to provide some demographics that there was indeed a need in our area. So we surveyed the Stark and the surrounding 7 counties, their county boards of disabilities. We're collaborating with all of them, great relationships with them, and said, check your books. How many people with Down syndrome do we indeed have in our region? Enough to warrant bringing a Gigi's to Stark County. So, of course, we passed the test, and we are in. And so there are 4 phases to opening a Gigi's Playhouse. We are in phase 2 currently. So phase 1 was learn about Gigi's and spread the word. So that's, we're continuing to do that here. And into phase 2. And phase 2 is really start to solidify some funding. So we've been approaching some foundations and pursuing some grant funding. Partnerships is going to be huge for us. And there'll be a day when we're really going to be more in a phase of pursuing volunteers.
Yes, good.
So for now, this launch team is focused on getting the doors open, securing the funding. We have started to look for a facility. That's where in phase 2 you really start to look for a facility, a location. There's some specs they want us to check off the list. They ground level so that it's fully accessible for our families. They want you to be storefront in a high foot traffic location, which we don't have a lot of those here in Stark County. Some, but those tend to be a little bit more costly, of course. So of course, what we're looking for is at the high end of the commercial real estate market at the moment. But so we're just now getting started, comparing some prices and reaching out to some property owners and some landlords. But we're excited. We're excited to see what's out there. I just have a strong piece that there's a landlord out there waiting for our call.
Yes.
That's ready to open their doors to Gigi's and to really start to change our community.
They might be within the sound of your voice right this very moment. And how do they reach you? If they are hearing this and saying, you know what, that's me.
Yeah,
what do they do?
That would be great. My email, you can get to us through our website, Facebook page, and I will be the one to respond. Or our email is Canton@gigisplayhouse.org, and that will, again, come directly to me.
Perfect. All right, go to Facebook, go to Gigi's Playhouse Canton. go to the website, gigisplayhouse.org/Canton, or email canton@gigisplayhouse.org.
Right.
Couldn't be
Yes,
easier.
ma'am.
Yeah.
What will take place at Gigi's Playhouse? Tell me about what a day will look like there.
Okay, well, it's no day's gonna be the same, which is great, right? That's what we want. So our goal is to there are going to be different groups. For instance, there's going to be free tutoring for school age individuals, or even before school age, free therapies, free social events, free support groups, free life skills training, free job training. All these are steps, and did I mention everything is free?
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
that's what the goal is. There again, if you look at some of the, and we're inspired by what we see at these other locations. For instance, San Diego just opened theirs, and there's one in Syracuse that I look at a lot to see what's going on. Annapolis, Maryland just opened theirs. All these communities and what they're doing, and there's so many fun groups. And again, we talked about the networking, but it's more than that. It's empowerment, and it is improving lives of individuals and their families, and that in turn improves our community. Give someone a chance, give them an opportunity, see what they can do, and you will be. I won't be amazed. You might be amazed. I won't be amazed because I know what these individuals and what everyone can do. So it's just exciting. Next year at this time for us is the goal, to be open, to have this place. We've done so much and we're doing so much as a network of people, but to continue to be able to provide these free therapies, these free tutoring sessions, these free social groups, these free family networking groups, brothers, sisters, moms, dads, come together. Let's talk. What can we do to make our lives better as well? What can we do to make our children's lives better of any age? You know, we're not just talking 2-year-olds or 6-year-olds. We're talking 25-year-olds. What do they need? We can provide that for them, and we're going to. And we know the community wants to do that as well. And we're excited. We've had some great relationships already with the Buddy Walk of North Canton, and we're excited to continue to develop more relationships.
You're talking about really being able to serve for free again, prenatally, and then just at birth, and then that taking that new baby home and all the needs of the parents and the babies at that point, and then preschool, and then school age into adulthood. You're talking about there's not a stage of life that you are not ready to serve and excited to serve.
No,
right.
and that's one of the things we like about Gigi's is a friend of ours was on spring break vacation recently, last month, and visited the Tampa location. That location tends to serve quite a few adults.
Wow.
The one in Cleveland tends to serve quite a few toddlers. So we can really gear it towards what does Stark County and the surrounding counties need, and we can provide that.
And again, I love the fact that you're bringing the parents together. And this is a group that can really learn from one another.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that just all a rising tide raises all the boats, and it just seems like
Very much.
everyone benefits from it. And it all begins April 21st again
Yes.
at Chipotle and
Village.
at Belden Village. All right, specific times that you're going to be there?
4 to 8 p.m. all evening. So
Oh my goodness! And just say something. I'm here for Gigi's.
yes,
And carry out too? Do we know, or do you have to eat in?
I think it's dine in only.
Okay,
So,
dine in.
yeah.
Well, plan to have an evening out.
Night out.
There we go.
Chipotle. It's
Zach-
beautiful. You got to get more guacamole anyways. You can't
That's
get
right,
that when
yeah.
you go home.
That's right. You can't have seconds. So, yes. All right. That's how great. We will see you at Chipotle's on April 21st. And Sarah Heckert, Aaron Kitzmiller, thank you for what you're doing for our community.
Thank you.